It's Friday, May the 8th. Today, new HIV cases. Manitoba is declaring a public health emergency over HIV infection rates. What's driving a spike and what can be done to turn things around. Also today, more space and more meals. How some Winnipeg nonprofits are working to meet the rising tide of food insecurity. Plus, put on the suit. How a Winnipeg organization is helping students who have financial obstacles dress for success. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of the week. It is 6 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Ainsley McPhail is going to be in a gorgeous show home this morning as well, telling us all about the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. And we're going to hear a little bit more about St. Boniface and how a portion of the funds raised in the lottery goes to support some of the important programming and services, equipment at the St. Boniface Hospital. So we're going to find out about that throughout the morning. And of course, it's about patient care as well, right? Yes. We want the best care when we go to the hospital. But it's been really nice. How pleasant. The weather has been so lovely in just one day. My whole attitude has changed.
I'm with you on that. And honestly, I don't know if it's the weather or the fact that it's Friday, both things coupled together. And today is going to be an amazing day. We do have some extra clouds hanging around this morning, but that's actually kept things a little bit milder as far as the temperatures go. So we're waking up to 4 degrees. That is a seasonal low temperature. So very nice to be back to what is normal for this time of year. That 4 degrees comes with an east-northeast wind. It's on the lighter side right now, just 11 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 53%. Now you can see those heavier clouds out there right now. They're actually bringing a little bit of light precipitation in areas surrounding Winnipeg. Some places cool enough just north of the city that there may be some flurries tucked in there. We're not actually seeing much of that reaching ground level here in Winnipeg, so not much to concern yourself with, and that's going to be clearing out, taking the clouds with them. We'll see a lot more sunshine later on today. Now, later today, parts of the southwest could be in for a good solid soaking. Some showers or some heavy rain could be moving into parts of the southwest for later today, and across northern Manitoba, the activity will be quite scattered and patchy, nowhere near as organized as what's going to be moving through the southwest, but you might be seeing a little bit of flurry activity along with those heavier clouds that'll probably linger. As far as precipitation goes, there's a slim chance that in the overnight hours, Saturday into Sunday, we could see some brief passing showers. It'll be overnight, back to the sunshine again for daytime. Temperature-wise, yes, still a little bit below seasonal, but compared to where we've been, we're calling this a win, and it looks like we'll be winning even more so when we're reaching those seasonal temperatures or even going beyond.
Thank you, Terry. Manitoba has declared a public health emergency over HIV. Dr. Brent Rusin presented some grim numbers Thursday, showing this province has 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, he says it will require a coordinated effort to reduce the spread.
Manitoba's top public health official is warning about a significant rise in HIV cases.
Manitoba continues to experience some of the highest rates of HIV in Canada.
Dr. Brent Rusin, the chief provincial public health officer, says Manitoba is declaring a public health emergency to tackle the spread of the virus. New numbers show in 2025, 328 new cases of HIV were reported, a big jump from 2019 that saw 90. And in 2024, Manitoba had 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases.
And so this is significant, it's concerning, and it requires a coordinated action across governments, communities, and health systems.
Rates are highest in northern and southwestern Manitoba. The largest number of cases are diagnosed in Winnipeg. The province says Indigenous people are disproportionately impacted, and more than 50% of cases are women, much higher than the national average. The emergency is driven by a number of factors, including injection drug use, homelessness, mental health issues, and limited access to care.
I see them every day here, so there is a kind of a medical issue going around here.
Kenneth Garriock lives in Winnipeg's core area and has friends living with HIV. He says the drug problem is only getting worse.
I'm helping people out here and that are ODing out here, and I Narcan them, so I did 4 people already.
The province says it has moved 223 people from tents to housing with supports or treatment, and reminds people it is trying to set up a supervised drug consumption site.
A safe place to consume their intravenous drugs, but it would also provide a health-led model, so people would have access to primary health care.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Dr. Roustan says they're working with Indigenous leaders, community groups, and federal agencies to address the conditions leading to the spike in cases. New details have emerged in that crash between a cyclist and a truck in the Transcona area Wednesday morning. It happened around 5:30 on Dugald Road near Murdoch Road. Police say the driver of the truck has been identified as a 27-year-old woman who was driving with a suspended license at the time. The cyclist, a 23-year-old man, remains in hospital in critical but stable condition. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information or dash cam footage is being asked to contact the WPS traffic unit at 204-986-7095 or Crime Stoppers. Rising fuel costs will soon mean fewer flights. Air Canada is now cutting service on more routes.
The ones that they're cutting back are newer routes. They're not old routes. They're not LA's or San Francisco's. They're not Dallas's. They're not Chicago's.
Air Canada has confirmed it's cutting more seasonal flights earlier than planned. That includes flights from Vancouver to Raleigh, Toronto to Charleston and Sacramento, and Montreal to Austin, Texas. A spokesperson for Air Canada says the airline plans to resume full service on the routes next summer. WestJet also previously announced its plans to slash its capacity by nearly 6% in June. And as far as insurance goes, Manulife is now classifying the jet fuel shortage as a known event. That means problems related to this issue generally won't be covered. The U.S. and Iran are accusing each other of carrying out attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran released this video this morning, seeming to show missiles fired by its Navy. Iran says the U.S. targeted its ships entering the Strait of Hormuz and carried out strikes in its territory. The U.S. is accusing Iran of attacking 3 of its warships. Despite this flare-up, U.S. President Donald Trump says the ceasefire is still on.
They trifled with us today. We blew them away. They trifled. I call that a trifle. I'll let you know when there's no ceasefire. You won't have to know. We're not going to give them the...
Talks with Iran are still happening. An update now in the ongoing land dispute between a Central Winnipeg curling club and the city. The city confirms it will be ending its lease with the Granite Curling Club in July. A spokesperson says the terms of a new lease have not yet been finalized, and if nothing changes before then, it will put an interim agreement in place that ensures the club can continue occupying the site, but without the parking lot. That parking lot is at the center of the dispute. The city is moving ahead with an affordable housing project there, while the club says its future is in jeopardy without access to parking. The curling club has also taken the city to court, asking a judge to order the city to abide by a municipal board ruling, which said the two have to agree on a new parking plan before the housing project can go ahead. The Granite Curling Club declined to comment as the matter is before the courts. Instead of fish, a nonprofit group was at the Red River Thursday to pull out something a little different.
We see everything from vehicles to shopping carts to barber's chairs. You name it, we've seen it.
The Red River Revival was extracting a vehicle from the riverbed in the Netley Creek area. It was spotted beneath the ice over the winter. Before proceeding, the nonprofit group meets with wildlife biologists and others to ensure the retrieval won't affect the environment. A diver later hooks the frame up to inflatable bags, and it is floated to the surface and over to the bank. The goal of the group's cleanup efforts is to remove environmental and nautical hazards from the Red and Assiniboine rivers and their tributaries.
You know, the river's a little bit out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people, but when you actually spend some time on it, you realize how much we're polluting it.
An RCMP officer on hand says the vehicle fished out was reported stolen in 2024. It's one of 8 now recovered over the last year by the dive group Red River Revival has partnered with. The Métis-led group is currently supported through donations and business partnerships, but hopes to secure government funds to help its cleanup efforts. The CN Tower has been glowing on the Toronto skyline for 5 decades, and to celebrate its anniversary milestone, there's a new coin in circulation with some special features.
I like it, yeah. It's cool.
Daniel McLeod was one of several people to get their hands on the new CN Tower 50th anniversary circulation coin during an exchange Thursday. and you won't have any trouble finding it at night. The glow-in-the-dark coin is just the second of its kind from the Royal Canadian Mint. It prominently displays the CN Tower in the Toronto skyline, past, present, and aglow at night, along with silhouettes etched on the outer ring.
Oh, it's beautiful. I think it's really nice. It's a nice keepsake. I'm accumulating these coins here for my grandchildren. And there's one in the oven for November, so I had to get a coin for that one too.
You can snag your own coin from now through Saturday at the Royal Canadian Mint Boutique at the facility on Najimadzia Boulevard while supplies last. The CN Tower is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere. It officially opened on June 26, 1976. Here's a look outside now. What's happening on Portage Avenue? Things are moving well starting off this Friday morning. If you see any issues out there, please send us a text to let us know. Get ready to rock and roll. We have a contest for you. Motley Crue will headline the second annual Rockin' Thunder on Saturday, July the 4th at Princess Auto Stadium. The legendary rock band will help kickstart the summer, joined by 3 Days Grace, Hailstorm, and JJ Wild. Your Morning Winnipeg has 4 VIP tickets to give away, and this is your last chance to participate. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword rock. Good luck. All right, let's go to the rooftop now where Terry is this morning. It's still a little dark out there, but how's it feeling?
It's dark because of the extra clouds, Rochelle.
Okay.
The sun is actually up. It rose before 6 a.m., but we've got this blanket of clouds hanging over us. Now, that same blanket of clouds providing just a little bit of insulation for us, so our temperatures 5 degrees now. We were at 4 last hour and already on the rise. So that was a seasonal low temperature of 4 degrees. And now we're starting to already make some gains for the day. A 14K wind at the moment is out of the east-northeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 51%. These heavier clouds are bringing a little bit of scattered precipitation in areas surrounding Winnipeg. Not seeing anything like that. Not in the downtown area on my rooftop anyway. The possibility is there. It's a slim chance, but we could get clipped with a brief shower depending where you are, but then clearing as the morning goes on, and by later this morning and then continuing through the afternoon and right on into the evening time, enjoying some of that sunshine with the sun not even setting till 8 p.m. and the temperature on the rise, not just seasonal, but double digits on the way. We're taking a break. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Good morning. We're learning more about a multi-vehicle crash Wednesday that sent 3 people to hospital. It happened at the corner of Inkster Boulevard and Arlington Street. The Independent Investigation Unit says it has taken over the investigation as that large orange tank truck had been stolen and was involved in an earlier police chase. The IIU says the driver did not suffer any apparent injuries and is currently in custody. However, 3 other people were hurt, including one who received serious injuries. The IIU is asking anyone with information or video footage to come forward. There will soon be a major disruption for swimmers in Winnipeg. The city plans to close the Pan Am Pool's main tank for a full year so it can undertake a multi-million-dollar rehabilitation of the facility. According to a request for proposals posted by the city, contractors will be working on the Pan Am Pool's main tank, including diving platforms and the deck area. It will be closed to the public for the duration of the project. The RFP says the East Training Tank, locker rooms, and concourse level spaces will remain open to select users during construction. The pool will be closed starting on January 18th, 2027, and the plan is for it to reopen about 1 year later. The city has $4.7 million available for the project. Bids are due by Monday, June the 1st. There has been a breach of a learning software used by universities and colleges around the world.
It's a little bit surprised that something on this scale actually happened here.
Thousands of schools are affected, including U of T, UBC, and others in Canada. The system is called Canvas, and it's used to manage grades, course notes, and assignments. A hacking group claims billions of private messages and other records have been accessed. The University of Toronto says its online learning system is unavailable until further notice. UBC yesterday said students who were still logged in need to log out right away and change their password. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Pope Leo at the Vatican yesterday.
Secretary, good to see you. Good morning. It was almost a year that I was here with you.
The U.S. State Department calls their talks friendly and constructive. The visit happened after U.S. President Donald Trump criticized Pope Leo for opposing the Iran war. Earlier this week, Pope Leo said people are free to criticize him, but they should do so with truth. It's been 46 years in the making, but now for the first time, Agape Table has a stand-alone space, and it hopes that will bolster their efforts to feed vulnerable Winnipeggers. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, they're not the only organization stepping up and making plans.
For the first time ever, Agape Table finally has a space to call their own.
Really, it's a place that we can finally call home.
After breaking ground on a new building in October 2024, the nonprofit will move 2 doors down on Furby Street, out of the Wave Church's basement, where they operated for 8 years. During that time, they served hundreds of thousands of meals to vulnerable Winnipeggers as food insecurity continues to rise.
Our numbers are staggering. Like in 2019, we were at 85,000 meals for the year. Last year, we were up to 188,000.
The state-of-the-art facility offers more kitchen space, storage, and refrigeration. On top of that, Agape Table will now be open 7 days a week and serve sit-down meals in the space. That's the first time they've been able to since March 2020.
We're going to get back to that. It's really unfortunate for that many years that we had to serve lunch at the door, but bringing them back inside it's a sense of community.
And they are not the only ones feeding the community. At Chalmers Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, every Thursday they give away donated food to 300 people on average. Since they launched the program last fall, people wait for hours to bring home groceries.
The costs of fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, astronomical. So when they can get it for free and it will help them get through a week or to their next paycheck, that is gratifying.
Villarba says the organization also plans to convert this former Elmwood ice cream shop on Ottawa Avenue into a low-cost grocery store mixed with transitional housing. They hope to open the grocery store later this summer. Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A Winnipeg-founded retail chain is seeking a Manitoba court's approval to liquidate its stores. Warehouse One has started proceedings which would allow the denim retailer to begin shutting down. On Wednesday, Manitoba's Court of King's Bench granted an initial order which prevents its creditors from seeking repayment. According to a pre-filing report, Warehouse One has suffered financial losses due to increased competition from online retail, fast fashion, operational challenges, and poor sales performance. Now it's insolvent and unable to pay its rent and payroll costs. The company is planning on returning to court in the coming days to seek a further order to approve the liquidation of its stores. The company currently operates 128 retail stores nationally under its Warehouse One and Bootlegger banners. A mom in Florida was stunned when she heard a loud noise near her door.
He was breaking in because I never thought that the gators were going to enter my porch.
It was 2 alligators fighting. They slammed through the screen and were right there on her porch. Experts say while this is a shocking and scary moment, it's not exactly uncommon behavior for gators. They do fight over territory. Of course, it's a little less common for them to fight over someone's screened-in porch. We would hope so. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound median lane on Provincial Boulevard will be closed for sewer work between Nadeau and Langevin Street. Both north and southbound curb lanes on Taché Avenue will be closed between Eugenie and Marion Street. And on McGregor Street, north and southbound median lanes will be closed from Anderson to McRae Street. If you see any other issues out there, please send us a text to let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
A look outside right now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Heavier clouds for now, not likely to last. We're in for a beautiful day today with sunshine, a little bit of a warmth, and already a little bit of warmth, in fact, because while the past couple of days have been well below seasonal, yesterday morning, for example, we were 10 degrees colder than where we are right now. Now we're waking up to seasonal values and already beginning to warm up. So from 4 degrees last hour, we're now sitting at 9 degrees in the Morden Winkler area. Not quite as mild off to the west. We've got Brandon at 1, Dauphin just coming in at freezing, and then starting to see some slightly cooler temperatures through central, north central, and northern Manitoba. But Only a few degrees below the freezing mark, so not a bad way to be kicking off your morning, knowing that plus digits is where you'll end up later on this afternoon. Again, we had that threat of some precipitation just in these early morning hours, but as it clears throughout the day today, increasing amounts of sunshine and increasing warmth to go along with it. Mercury on the rise by 9 a.m., 7 degrees as kids are getting into the classroom. Lunchtime temperatures up to 11, 13 by the time they're coming home. So a pleasant day, a little bit of a breeze, but a lot more sunshine and staying in those double digits. Not quite the seasonal 18 degrees, but next week warms up a little bit more and we could reach those seasonal temps. A beautiful shot taken out in the Chief Peg West Bridge. Thank you so much to Cheryl for sharing this with us, and keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We'll see you after this.
Good morning. High school graduation is right around the corner, and the cost of buying or renting formal wear puts it out of reach for some students. That's why a Winnipeg organization is helping grade 12 students dress for success. CTV's Daniel Halmerson explains.
This looks fantastic. These grade 12 students are graduating in a little over a month, and they have plenty of things to worry about, like exams and post-grad plans. But finding something to wear to grad won't be a problem. That's because Suit Up Winnipeg is providing them with suits, shirts, ties, and shoes free of charge. Anyone who's graduated or has had a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew, anybody who's graduated and crossed that stage knows that grad is an expensive time. For the past 11 years, Suit Up volunteers have been collecting gently used formal wear and helping grads to look their best so they won't miss out on their big day.
This program allows students who have financial obstacles to be able to participate in a really big event in their life.
They had that huge smile on their face. Some parents were telling us, oh, this is the first time somebody's wearing a suit.
Suit Up founder Dana Binder says the program isn't just about graduation, though. It's a way to help set up students for future success.
The nice thing is most of them come here and say, okay, when do I have to return it? And we say, you don't. You get to wear it to job interviews or any other festivities where you need to be a little bit more fancy.
Binder says getting fitted for a suit can be a transformative experience.
You see them get a little bit taller. You see the smiles come out a little bit. Their eyes are open wide, and that's what this is all about.
Teachers and guidance counselors say the results speak for themselves.
This is helping so much with their mental health, and it makes all the families really happy.
The self-confidence, the pride that they were feeling in themselves when they looked into a mirror.
Grad is a milestone. Grad is a rite of passage, and grad should be inclusive. Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Suit Up Winnipeg always has room for more formal wear, and the organization's looking for cash donations too to help keep things running. You can email them at suitupwinnipeg@gmail.com. A second round series between the Habs and Sabres is turning into a bit of a food fight off the ice.
Banning the buffalo wing sauce, the buffalo wraps, the buffalo poutines, the buffalo chicken burger, and we're changing the names. And, you know, we're still going to serve the sauces, but it's not going to be called buffalo anymore.
Cunningham's Pub is banning all things buffalo related for the series, while at least one local grocer in Buffalo is taking Montreal steak spice off of their shelves. In both cases, of course, the business owners insist it's just part of a friendly rivalry. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is profit. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter profit with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck.
Degrees outside this morning. Sure, we've got some heavier clouds hanging around for now, but only for now. We're going to see them clearing out, making way for plenty of sunshine to enjoy throughout the day. The winds are light out of the east-northeast, 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 51%. It is so nice to be waking up to temperatures above the freezing mark, but also above seasonal. Now, we were at seasonal 4 degrees last hour. That is normal for this time of year, but We're already above that. Gains being made early this morning, and we'll continue to make those lovely gains throughout the day today, not just with the temperatures, but with improvements in the conditions as well, because these extra clouds will be clearing on out, and then we'll be enjoying that sunshine, warming us up to 13 degrees. Now, I get excited about that because it's warmer than anything we've had so far this week. But in fact, 18 degrees would be a normal daytime high. So still a below seasonal day, but improvements from where we've been. So relatively speaking, huge win. It will, however, come with a bit more of a breeze, especially later on this afternoon. That wind out of the northwest could increase to about 30 kilometers per hour and then tapering off overnight. Just a few clouds tonight, dropping down to 3 degrees, so staying above the freezing mark, and pleasant again for tomorrow, though we might have just a few extra clouds for tomorrow. Still going to be a nice day. 11 degrees. Once again, we might deal with a bit of that breeze. And with those extra clouds that we might see tomorrow, there is the possibility of some showers passing through in the overnight hours into Sunday, but then clearing out throughout the day, that sunshine back, and eventually a little more heat coming back. We could, in fact, see those temperatures on the rise, surpassing seasonal and getting up into the low 20s by the middle of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Another candidate is throwing their hat into the ring to be Winnipeg's next mayor. Funeral director Mike Voyage-Akis is officially registered as a candidate in the upcoming mayoral election. Voyage-Akis made the announcement on social media, saying his campaign will focus on a wide range of issues, including public safety, transit, and affordability. He joins two other previously registered candidates, grocery clerk Christopher Classio, who ran in 2022, and Mayor Scott Gillingham, who is seeking re-election. Well-known PC MLA Jeff Wharton has decided not to run in the next election. Wharton was first elected to the legislature in 2016 in the campaign that swept Brian Pallister and the PCs to power. He was re-elected in 2019 and then again in 2023. During his time in government, he held several cabinet portfolios, including municipal relations, economic development, and environment minister. However, Wharton's time in office was not without controversy. Manitoba's ethics commissioner found Wharton, former Premier Heather Stephenson, and former Deputy Premier Cliff Cullen tried to push through a controversial silica sand mining project after the Tories lost the 2023 election, but before the new NDP government was sworn in. He was fined $10,000. The PCs say they will hold a nomination meeting for a new candidate in Red River North in due course. The World Health Organization is now working to minimize concerns, saying the public health risks surrounding this hantavirus outbreak remains low.
We know this virus, hantaviruses, have been around for quite a while. There's a lot of detail that we know. I'm going to ask Anais to come in and say this, but I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship.
3 people have died since the cruise ship set sail from Argentina a month ago. 8 people are suspected to have contracted the virus. The ship is set to arrive in the Canary Islands on Sunday. Authorities there are now preparing to receive more than 140 passengers and crew who don't have any symptoms. There are 4 Canadians currently on board the ship. Consular officials are on their way to meet with them when they dock. We also now know that 2 additional Canadians are among more than 24 people from 12 different countries who left the ship 2 weeks ago unaware of the outbreak. They are now isolating at home in Ontario.
At this point, it is believed that they are not in any way a risk of transmission, but it is fluid.
A 3rd Canadian is now isolating in Quebec. That person was not on that cruise, but was on the same flight home as the 2 Ontarians. Officials say all 3 people are asymptomatic and will continue to be monitored. The WHO says while more cases are possible in the coming weeks, hantavirus does not spread easily between people, adding that it's typically through close and prolonged contact. This summer could be the last chance to see Canada's iconic snowbirds. A Conservative MP says Ottawa is preparing to pause or cancel the popular Air Force program due to an aging fleet, forcing the Defence Minister to respond. CTV's Graham Richardson has the exclusive details.
For decades, they've been a Canadian symbol of blue skies and hot summer days. But Conservatives are now warning 2026 will be the last time Canadians will be able to see the iconic snowbirds for many years to come.
Up front, the snowbirds are being canceled. This is the last season.
Tomey is the former mayor of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, home base for the snowbirds. He says the schedule is normal for 2026, but after that, the planes will stay on the ground.
They do our nation proud. And we really need to get behind our snowbirds. It's, you know, it's an SOS call. It's save our snowbirds.
2 air shows confirmed to CTV they are not booked in 2027 and referred all questions back to the snowbirds. When asked directly about the future of the program, Defence Minister David McGuinty's office refused all comment. One Liberal MP said cost is a factor.
At what cost? So, I mean, yeah, it's a Canadian institution. Would be sad to see it go, but I'm not sure how much it costs for the snowbirds.
After our story published online, the minister said this in the House of Commons.
This member surely can't be suggesting he's going to put the pilots, the women and men of that fleet, in harm's way.
In 2021, the government committed $30 million to upgrade the fleet and keep it flying until 2030. It appears the snowbirds won't make it that long.
This is like maple syrup. This is like, you know, ice cold Canadian beer. This is like, you know, gravy on our poutine.
The minister announced he will be in Moose Jaw to talk about the future of the snowbirds at the end of May. If it is new planes, that will take years, and Conservatives insist that for this fleet, 2026 will likely be the final year.
Here's a look at what's happening right now on the Norwood Bridge. Look at that. Barely anyone out right now. It's looking pretty smooth so far this morning on your Friday morning drive. Here's a look at your gas prices in Winnipeg. The average is $1.82. It's a bit lower compared to yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today. Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
All right, I'm noticing just a slight bit of a breeze picking up, giving me a bit of a Beyonce moment up here on the rooftop. But overall, a pleasant start to the day. We do have a few extra clouds hanging around, but the temperatures warmer than they've been, and in fact, we reached seasonal values, dropping down to 4 degrees, but now on the rise to 5. The sun started to rise before 6 a.m., and it'll stay up till almost 9 p.m. tonight. So we will get these longer days, warmer days. Seasonal days? No, lower the expectations. Right now, those winds, at least what they're registering out of the airport, was 14 clicks out of the east-northeast. The pressure falling, humidity at 51%. Heavier clouds are still hanging around right now. There's been a little bit of scattered precipitation in areas surrounding Winnipeg. I don't think Winnipeg itself has seen much as far as the showers or early morning flurries for some go. But that whole system will be clearing out, taking these clouds, making way for sunshine. It is going to be a beautiful day today. But the mercury on the rise, not to seasonal values, but we should get up into the low teens. Checking in with Ainsley McPhail now on a fun Friday. Let's see where she's at and what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Hi, the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery's big spring bonus deadline, midnight tonight. And here to tell us all about it is Irina Ivanov-Bissonat. She's going to share some of those prizes bigger than ever.
Yeah, very exciting. This is the biggest grand prize ever. There's dream home packages like the one we're standing in right now that are worth over $1.7 million. You can also opt for the tax-free cash option. That's $1.35 million. And yeah, if you get in and purchase your ticket before midnight tonight, you're into all the draws. And there's $58,000 for the spring bonus. So you've got cars, you got travel, you got cash. Get in before midnight.
Oh, definitely get those tickets in. But also 50-50. It climbs, and it climbs quick.
Yes, it's Manitoba's biggest 50-50 right now, and by the end of the day, it should be over $800,000. So you take half of that, and it's unlimited. So we're thinking still going to go up throughout the summer. So get in now before midnight.
And it's also rewarding, too, knowing exactly where the dollars are going. You see it, of course, firsthand with the St. Boniface Hospital Foundation. Tell us a little bit about who is being supported with those dollars?
Yeah, each ticket really directly supports Manitoba's 3 major hospitals. So Health Sciences Centre, Children's Hospital, and St. Boniface Hospital. So for us at St. B, one of the big projects that happened last year was the redevelopment of the emergency department. So we've got bigger, calmer, safer space for both patients and staff. And that's just one of the projects that's being supported by community support, donors, lottery proceeds. Again, it makes a huge difference in patient outcomes and staff, right? So people can feel good, you know, you can win some amazing prizes, but you're also directly supporting the 3 hospitals.
Remember, guys, deadline, midnight tonight. What is the name of that website so people can head there right now?
Go right now to tryhospitaldream.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Coming up after the break, we're going to be chatting with some industry experts, and we're going to be learning a little bit more about some of those prizes. Tryhospitaldream.com.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones rose 145 points. The Nasdaq is 184 points higher. The S&P index added 33. The Canadian dollar has slightly increased to 73.27 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng lost 232 points, and the Nikkei added 120 points down. Good morning. It is 6:46. New details have emerged in that crash between a cyclist and a truck in the Transcona area Wednesday morning. It happened around 5:30 on Dugald Road near Murdoch Road. Police say the driver of the truck has been identified as a 27-year-old woman who was driving with a suspended license at the time. The cyclist, a 23-year-old man, remains in hospital in critical but stable condition. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information or dash cam footage is being asked to contact the WPS traffic unit at 204-986-7095 or Crime Stoppers. An infestation of ants has once again hit a hospital in southern Manitoba, forcing surgeries to be canceled. The Southern Health Authority says 16 elective procedures need to be rescheduled at the hospital in the town of Carman, southwest of Winnipeg. The authority, which oversees healthcare at the Carman Memorial Hospital, says some of the surgeries include hernia repairs and gallbladder removals. They were canceled for safety and hygiene reasons, and the work is being shifted to another facility while an exterminator works to rid the hospital of the pests. This isn't the first time the hospital has struggled with an ant problem. Ants were spotted in August 2024, but they died off within a few weeks. Thousands of CRA account breaches are now coming to light. The federal privacy watchdog says there have been more than 42,000 breaches at the Canada Revenue Agency since 2020. Privacy Commissioner Philippe Dufresne pointed to gaps in the agency's prevention, monitoring, detection, and handling of the breaches. The Revenue Agency says attackers often use stolen or leaked credentials to gain access. The commissioner made 9 recommendations for improvement, 8 of which were accepted in full and 1 in part by the Revenue Agency. British Columbia's premier announced Thursday that the school in Tumbler Ridge, which was the site of a mass shooting in February, will be torn down and rebuilt on a new site. Premier David Eby says the plan took shape on the night he attended a vigil in the northeastern BC town.
The school board will be working with the local community and experts to come up with an initial design plan for the new school that will be brought back to the community, we hope, before the end of the year.
In that horrible tragedy, 6 people were killed and 2 others were wounded when an 18-year-old former student opened fire at the school on February the 10th. The mass murder shocked the small community of Tumbler Ridge and drew an outpouring of grief from around the country. Another major legal setback for Donald Trump and his global tariff war. A U.S. court has ruled that the U.S. president violated the law when he imposed 10% tariffs on most U.S. imports. The Court of International Trade found that Trump wrongly invoked a decades-old law when he applied the duties in February. Remember, those tariffs were imposed after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down his previous set of sweeping tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners. A new study suggests that mixing up your exercise routine may help you live longer. Researchers in the U.S. looked at national health data from more than 111,000 adults over several decades. The study, published in the BMJ Journal, found that people who did a greater variety of physical activities had a lower risk of dying early compared to those who stuck to fewer types of exercise. In fact, those who mixed up their routines the most, switching among workouts like walking, running, tennis, and weight training, had about a 19% lower risk of death. Individual cardio activities, especially walking and running, showed some of the strongest benefits, while racket sports and weight training were also linked to better health. A Buddhist monk in Thailand is getting a lot of attention for the company he keeps. Every morning, a crew of 12 dogs joins the monk as he collects daily alms, sailing along a sacred river. Many of his furry friends were abandoned at a nearby temple. That's sweet. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound median lane on Provincial Boulevard will be closed for sewer work between Nadeau and Langevin Street. Both north and southbound curb lanes on Taché Avenue will be closed between Eugénie and Marion Street. And on McGregor Street, north and southbound median lanes will be closed from Anderson to McCrae Street. If you see anything out there, send us a text, please.
A beautiful start to your morning. It's 5 degrees outside right now. I should say a mild start to the morning. It's not as beautiful as perhaps we'd like, because if we were waking up to sunshine, it might look and feel a little bit better. But still, 5 degrees is slightly above seasonal, and that comes with a breeze on the lighter side out of the east-northeast, 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 51%. And all good things come to those who wait. And if we wait and exercise just a little bit of patience, we'll see these clouds clearing out, making way for some sunshine, and then really abundant sunshine expected through the latter part of the morning and into the afternoon for southern Manitoba. Northern Manitoba won't be quite so lucky, but where you will luck in is with everybody at least reaching the freezing point. The last couple of days you've been remaining below freezing in the far northeast, so to get back up to 0 degrees or into the plus digits, it's a win for you, though it will come with some clouds and maybe even a little bit of light and scattered snow. Slightly milder temperatures, but still nowhere near seasonal. Normals for this time of year up throughout the northwest should be up into those double digits, around 12 degrees, 13 degrees. Some could even be up around 14 degrees this time of year. So you can see it is going to be cooler than that. Here throughout southern Manitoba, 18 a normal daytime high. Well, the southwest will certainly do better today than what you got to yesterday, up in those mid to high teens, but the possibility of some precipitation to roll through for later on today, that could be hitting parts of the southwest, including around Brandon. We're looking to see the sky clearing out, making way for all of that sunshine, but there is still some activity with precipitation in surrounding areas, and some folks might still see that through the morning hours. And then as the day goes on, as the clouds clear, that's when we'll be getting more of that sunshine, which should stick around throughout the weekend, along with the double-digit temperatures. But the seasonal temperatures will be waiting for us on the other side of the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Friday.
Woo! Happy Friday, here. Rochelle. It looks like it's going to get nice. That's the main thing. We were talking the other day, this story came out that there's a slang word that you probably use, your kids might be using it, your parents, maybe even your grandparents used it, because it's been around for over 100 years. What? And that word is cool.
Oh,
cool. That's
We've been
cool.
saying it. Do you use cool, Rochelle?
All the time.
Is that a big word in your vernacular?
All the time. Probably too much, actually. Since I've been a kid, since I was 7, I would say.
Do you French it up like très cool?
Oh, très cool. No, not at all. I just say cool. Or I do it like cool.
Isn't it
cool?
Isn't it Trey, or am I wrong? There's other words. What else do you use? I still, some of the old stuff here, I still slip in. I still go my bad a lot. Oh, it's my bad. Or even once in a while, I'll grab one from the 70s and I'll say, right on. Right on.
People are still doing that.
What do you got?
I like that one. Yeah, my husband's always making fun of me because the youths that he works with have all these slangs. And then every now and then I'll say, when he's like, are you hanging out with my coworkers? But Rochelle, I think I was saying it first. I say low key a lot.
Low key,
I'm low key trying to use slang more. I'm low key going to eat a lot of pasta this weekend. There is no reasoning behind it, but I use that one way too often. We actually looked up some new sayings for 2026, what the youths are saying.
Yeah.
Beige flag, that's a thing. You've heard of red flags, but beige flag is when somebody's very boring and not worth mentioning.
That's interesting.
Like they go to bed early. We do. We have a lot of beige flags.
I would be one of those too, probably.
And what's the other one that I like?
Delulu.
Delulu.
What's that?
Yeah, when something's a little wacky or crazy, it's Delulu. You know. But I know you still use as if, which is still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Michelle.
and you know what? I was looking at my yearbook a year ago, and my picture's on it, and it says as if under my name. So I guess I said it a lot in high school. Anyway, have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you next week. It's hard to imagine too many positive things coming out of a cancer diagnosis, especially when the patient is a child. But sometimes, even in the darkest of times, an unexpected ray of light shines through. CTV's John Hendricks explains.
You can run down it. Abby, watch out.
Every pair of friends has a story about how they met. Quentin and Abby are no different, although the way they met is pretty different. It wasn't at school or here at the park. They met in the Children's Oncology Ward at Health Sciences Center.
Quentin was diagnosed with stage 3 Burkitt lymphoma. So it's a fairly rare form of cancer. Very fast growing, very aggressive.
And very strangely, he wasn't the only kid being treated for this type of lymphoma at the hospital. So was Abby, who was diagnosed just a few days after Quentin.
She definitely had a hard time with being away from her friends, and she's a really social kid.
Both missed their families and friends. And to the kids, the doctors weren't much fun.
Doctors are boring.
Then the two kids, battling the same rare cancer and with nearly identical treatment plans, found each other and became fast friends.
We watched funny videos on his computer, and it was funny.
They created a bond, I think, built on mischief and candy, a lot of it. It was pretty good.
A friendship that continues to this day, even though they're now out of the hospital. And soon they'll have another activity to do together. They're co-captains of a Challenge for Life team. Challenge for Life is an annual fundraising event run by the Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation. People come out to Assiniboine Park for either a 5 or 20-kilometer walk or a full morning of movement with 200 minutes of exercise.
They realized the need to give back and help people have as good of an experience as they did during their cancer journey.
And while not everyone will make a close friend like they did, they want to make sure that everyone's cancer journey is as positive as possible.
Challenge for Life is on Saturday, June 13th. For details, go to the Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation website. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back after this. It's Friday, May the 8th. Today, stopping the spread, what has prompted a public health emergency in Manitoba. Plus, Red River Recovery, what a nonprofit pulled out of a Manitoba riverbed. And dressing to impress, how one organization is helping Winnipeg students get dressed for grad. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is 7 o'clock. We are here at the end of the week, and it's going to be a good one the next hour. At 7:52, we're going to tell you about a Winnipeg firm that has traveled to Washington. They are working on being a part of the CUSMA negotiations. They say that First Nations people deserve to be at that negotiation table, and there's an old treaty that we're going to tell you about to explain why and what they'd like to see when they cross the border, some of the goods that they bring in or cross over. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that at that time. But the weather, it's beautiful. We're finally getting warmer.
Finally getting what we deserve.
Yes.
And actually, even that is still going to be below seasonal, but it's certainly going to be an improvement over where we were at the start of the week. Right now, we're sitting at 5 degrees with some heavier clouds still hanging over the city, but we will see those clouds moving on out, making way for sunshine later today. The breeze at the moment out of the east-northeast is just 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 51%. So yes, we do still have those heavier clouds right now, and there's actually been a little bit of scattered precipitation precipitation, which some folks through the southeastern part of the province might still see lingering before those clouds clear on out, making way for the sunshine. And then much of southern Manitoba, central Manitoba will be enjoying that sunshine. The far northern part of the province may still see some heavier clouds lingering, maybe even a little bit of scattered precipitation. Speaking of precipitation, there could be some showing up later today through parts of the southwest. So just know that while you're likely to enjoy a fair bit of sunshine today, into the evening time, the chance of some showers or some heavier rain for some passing through southwestern Manitoba, but clearing out overnight. Still with the heavier clouds through parts of central and northern Manitoba overnight, and maybe still some scattered precipitation as well, likely through the overnight or evening hours in flurry form. Then we're looking at fairly nice conditions through the weekend, not quite seasonal, but again, all relatively speaking, so an improvement from where we've been and improvement still to come. So 18 degrees is normal for this time of year, and while we might not get there throughout the weekend, next week is looking a few degrees warmer yet. And our art today is a big thank you to 8-year-old Owen. Oh, how cute is this? The little birds at the bird feeder. Love what you've done, and keep sharing that art with us. You can send it through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Manitoba has declared a public health emergency over HIV. Dr. Brent Rusin presented some grim numbers Thursday, showing this province has 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, he says it will require a coordinated effort to reduce the spread.
Manitoba's top public health official is warning about a significant rise in HIV cases.
Manitoba continues to experience some of the highest rates of HIV in Canada.
Dr. Brent Rusin, the chief provincial public health officer, says Manitoba is declaring a public health emergency to tackle the spread of the virus. New numbers show in 2025, 328 new cases of HIV were reported, a big jump from 2019 that saw 90. And in 2024, Manitoba had 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases.
And so this is significant, it's concerning, and it requires a coordinated action across governments, communities, and health systems.
Rates are highest in northern and southwestern Manitoba. The largest number of cases are diagnosed in Winnipeg. The province says Indigenous people are disproportionately impacted, and more than 50% of cases are women, much higher than the national average. The emergency is driven by a number of factors, including injection drug use, homelessness, mental health issues, and limited access to care.
I see them every day here, so there is a kind of a medical issue going around here.
Kenneth Garriock lives in Winnipeg's core area and has friends living with HIV. He says the drug problem is only getting worse.
I'm helping people out here and that are ODing out here, and I Narcan them, so I did 4 people already.
The province says it has moved 223 people from tents to housing with supports or treatment, and reminds people it is trying to set up a supervised drug consumption site.
A safe place to consume their intravenous drugs, but it would also provide a health-led model, so people would have access to primary health care.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Dr. Rusin says they're working with Indigenous leaders, community groups, and federal agencies to address the conditions leading to the spike in cases. There will soon be a major disruption for swimmers in Winnipeg. The city plans to close the Pan Am Pool's main tank for a full year so it can undertake a multi-million-dollar rehabilitation of the facility. According to a request for proposals posted by the city, contractors will be working on the Pan Am Pool's main tank, including diving platforms and the deck area. It will be closed to the public for the duration of the project. The RFP says the East Training Tank, locker rooms, and concourse level spaces will remain open to select users during construction. The pool will be closed starting on January 18th, 2027, and the plan is for it to reopen about 1 year later. The city has $4.7 million available for the project. Bids are due by Monday, June the 1st. Instead of fish, a nonprofit group was at the Red River Thursday to pull out something a little different.
We see everything from vehicles to shopping carts to barber's chairs. You name it, we've seen it.
Red River Revival was extracting a vehicle from the riverbed in the Netley Creek area. It was spotted beneath the ice over the winter. Before proceeding, the nonprofit group meets with wildlife biologists and others to ensure the retrieval won't affect the environment. A diver later hooks the frame up to inflatable bags, and it is floated to the surface and over to the bank. The goal of the group's cleanup efforts is to remove environmental and nautical hazards from the Red and Assiniboine rivers and their tributaries.
You know, the river's a little bit out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people, but when you actually spend some time on it, you realize how much we're polluting it.
An RCMP officer on hand says the vehicle fished out was reported stolen in 2024. It's one of 8 now recovered over the last year by the dive group. Red River Revival has partnered with. The Métis-led group is currently supported through donations and business partnerships, but hopes to secure government funds to help its cleanup efforts. High school graduation is right around the corner, and the cost of buying or renting formal wear puts it out of reach for some students. That's why a Winnipeg organization is helping grade 12 students dress for success.
This program allows students who have financial obstacles to be able to participate in a really big event in their life.
They had that huge smile on their face. Some parents were telling us, oh, this is the first time somebody's wearing a suit.
For the past 11 years, Suit Up volunteers have been collecting gently used formal wear, including suits, shirts, ties, and shoes, and helping grads to look their best so they won't miss out on their big day. Suit Up founder Dana Binder says just getting fitted for a suit can be a transformative experience for some students, and the program isn't just about graduation. It's a way to help set up students for future success.
Nice thing is most of them come here and say, okay, when do I have to return it? And we say, you don't. You get to wear it to job interviews or any other festivities where you need to be a little bit more fancy.
Suit Up Winnipeg always has room for more formal wear, and the organization's looking for cash donations too to help keep things running. You can email them at suitupwinnipeg@gmail.com. Here's a look at traffic now along St. Mary's Road. Things are still pretty light at this point in the drive this morning. If you see any issues out there, though, please send us a text to let us know.
Expect another interesting day in the markets with the news the U.S. and Iran clash near the Strait of Hormuz, an escalation that threatens to further fracture a fragile ceasefire as the two sides discuss a permanent end to the war. There are also reports Iran seized an oil tanker for attempting to disrupt the interests of the Iranian nation. Rental vacancies have increased dramatically across Canada in the last year, providing relief in a tight housing market, but sparking concerns of a slowdown in construction as developers struggle to cover costs. The national rental vacancy rate was 3.1% in October of 2025, a 41% year-over-year increase, with the figure rising in every province. Ivanhoe Mines, the Canadian mining group developing a major copper, zinc, and platinum assets in Africa, reported a net loss of $2 million for the quarter ending March 31st, compared with a profit of $122 million in the same period a year earlier. This after a large tax settlement linked to its flagship complex in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live this morning at a beautiful home. It's all for the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Fun fact about me, I used to live with 3 old men in a basement in Lethbridge, Alberta. Why does that pertain to the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery? Well, it doesn't really, but that space I was renting, this walk-in closet is bigger than that. When you buy a ticket, those homes are worth over $1.7 million. And the grand prize option, you can either pick that or the cash, $1.35 million. Biggest grand prize ever. Now, the deadline, midnight tonight for the 58K spring bonus. You can get cash, cars, travel, and more. And there's more early winners than ever. But also, you're supporting the 3 main hospitals, which serve about 1 million people here in Manitoba and deliver over 11,000 babies.
Oh, okay. I like it when we end on babies. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a good start to the day.
It is a good start to the day. We've got some really nice temperatures right now. Still some heavier clouds lingering. And as I look off to the east, you can kind of see the drags in the clouds where it's raining, not in the downtown area. I'm not obviously needing an umbrella, nor am I standing here getting wet, but I can see the clouds bringing that shower activity off to the east. And we have been seeing it on the satellite image in areas surrounding Winnipeg. So just know that that is a possibility if you're in the general area of southeastern Manitoba this morning. 5 degrees right now, so a pleasant start to the day as far as the temperatures go. It's warmer than it's been, and a 14K wind out of the east-northeast, the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 48%. Now, we do have some heavier clouds hanging around, maybe not the showers, just for some, but these clouds and the showers, the passing precipitation, it will all clear out as the day goes on, increasing amounts of sunshine then to take its place, and it's going to be a beautiful day, warming up nicely into the double digits, into the low teens, in fact, maybe even a little bit warmer than yesterday, and staying mild all throughout the weekend. Northern Manitoba, you might still see some heavier clouds, a little bit of scattered snow, and southwestern Manitoba for later on today. Oh, this little seagull flew overhead there. Easily distracted on a Friday. Southwestern Manitoba could be seeing some showers or some rain later on today.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. We want to know, how will you celebrate Mother's Day? You can also send a lovely message to your mom if you would like. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provincial, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see even more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is profit. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter profit with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck. Good morning. We have an update now on the ongoing land dispute between a Central Winnipeg Curling Club and the city. The city confirms it will be ending its lease with the Granite Curling Club in July. A spokesperson says the terms of a new lease have not yet been finalized, and if nothing changes before then, it will put an interim agreement in place that ensures the club can continue occupying the site, but without the parking lot. That parking lot is at the center of the dispute. The city is moving ahead with an affordable housing project there, while the club says its future is in jeopardy without access to parking. The curling club has also taken the city to court, asking a judge to order the city to abide by a municipal board ruling, which said the two have to agree on a new parking plan before the housing project can go ahead. The Granite Curling Club declined to comment, as the matter is before the courts. Statistics Canada will roll out the latest job market numbers this morning. A Reuters poll suggests economists expect the economy added 15,000 jobs in April. The forecast also predicts the unemployment rate will remain unchanged at 6.7%, according to LSEG data and analytics. The jobs report comes as Canadian businesses deal with high oil prices driven by the war in the Middle East, pushing gasoline and diesel costs up across the country. The CN Tower has been glowing on the Toronto skyline for 5 decades, and to celebrate its anniversary milestone, there's a new coin in circulation with some special features.
I like it, yeah. It's cool.
Daniel McLeod was one of several people to get their hands on the new CN Tower 50th anniversary circulation coin during an exchange Thursday. And he won't have any trouble finding it at night. The glow-in-the-dark coin is just the second of its kind from the Royal Canadian Mint. It prominently displays the CN Tower in the Toronto skyline, past, present, and aglow at night, along with silhouettes etched on the outer ring.
Oh, it's beautiful. I think it's really nice. It's a nice keepsake. I'm accumulating these coins here for my grandchildren. And there's one in the oven for November, so I had to get a coin for that one too.
You can snag your own coin from now through Saturday at the Royal Canadian Mint Boutique at the facility on Nejumadiad Boulevard while supplies last. The CN Tower is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere. It officially opened on June 26, 1976. Here's a look outside now at what's happening on Kenaston and Sterling Lyon Way. So far, things are moving well in this part of the city. If you see any problems out there, please send us a text at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
In entertainment, there's some good news for fans of Legally Blonde. A prequel is on the way, so get ready to bend and snap back into high school.
I've had to look for other work. I found a place.
What's it called?
Seattle's Elite.
Because the other doctor's from Seattle?
Because the practice is in Seattle.
And you'll commute to Seattle?
We're moving to Seattle.
Here's your first look at the Legally Blonde prequel series. Elle, the future Harvard lawyer, loses her glam teen life in Bel Air when her family moves to nearly blonde-free Seattle. Elle premieres July 1st on Prime Video. You might have thought you had stepped back in time if you visited Reichenbach Falls in Switzerland this week. That's because enthusiasts were there to reenact one of the most famous moments in literary detective fiction. It was this moment in an 1893 Sherlock Holmes story that shocked Victorian readers and briefly appeared to end one of literature's most famous detectives. At these falls, Holmes and his enemy, Professor Moriarty, struggle beside a cliff edge before plunging into the waterfall below. Now, more than 130 years later, enthusiasts of the series dressed in Victorian capes, tweed suits, and deerstalker hats to recreate the scene.
But at the end of the day, Conan Doyle's stories are a wonderful mix of history, good storytelling and brilliant characters, and it's huge fun to do.
The pilgrimage is put on by the Sherlock Holmes Society of London. It also includes a reenactment of Dr. Watson finding Holmes' farewell letter, as well as the detective's dramatic reappearance revealing he staged his death. Readers at the time canceled magazine subscriptions, wore black armbands in mourning, and protested after Holmes was killed off. Here's your Friday primetime lineup. Kick things off with Celebrity Jeopardy at 7. Happy's Place and Children Ruin Everything follows at 8. Then catch Boston Blue at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. I think I'm going to go outside for a walk tonight.
Ooh, good idea. I'm going to get outside for a morning walk, probably another one into the afternoon, and maybe if I'm feeling like it, an evening one tonight. Making the most of the gorgeous weather that we're finally getting gifted with. Right now, we're taking a look through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. And I know it's still looking a little bit gray out there right now, but the temperatures are far more pleasant than anything we've experienced so far this week. In fact, a seasonal low, 4 degrees. That's where we were last hour. This hour, we've bumped up to 5 degrees with those gains already being made. Areas to the west of us, a little bit cooler over in Brandon, 2 degrees, 1 in Dauphin, 0 at the moment in Swan River. But then we've got 9 degrees at the moment in Portage La Prairie, Morden Winkler area. So some folks really lucking in this morning. Northern Manitoba, just below the freezing mark, a few extra clouds. You might see some scattered flurries today across parts of northern Manitoba. But here's some good news. Even for the north, you're likely to reach the freezing mark or even push up into the plus digits, which again, it's small improvements, but we'll take every degree we get. There you can see the precipitation that was in the surrounding areas is beginning to taper off, and that will clear off to the east. When that happens, we will be seeing a little more sunshine as the day goes on and warming us up to 13 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school today. Is that seasonal? No, it's still about 5 degrees cooler than what you would expect this time of year, with 18 being a normal high, but we're at least in the double digits with a fair bit of sunshine through the weekend, and then next week those more seasonal temperatures will be waiting for us. And our shot from Chief Peguis Bridge is absolutely beautiful this morning. Thanks to Cheryl for sharing this photo with us, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
May 8th, 1950. As many as 100,000 people were forced out of Winnipeg. An approaching flood caused as much as $130 million in damage before the crisis ended on May 25th. The scale of the destruction is a major reason why projects like the Red River Floodway were eventually constructed. The Winnipeg evacuation was the largest in Canadian history until the 1979 Mississauga rail disaster. May 8th, 1984. The Soviet Union announced it would boycott the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, charging the U.S. did not intend to ensure the athletes' security. The boycott was also viewed as retaliation for the U.S. boycott of the 1980 Moscow Olympics over the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. May 8th, 2019. Federal Crown prosecutors stayed the breach of trust case against the military's former second-in-command, Vice Admiral Mark Norman. The criminal case over alleged leaks of government secrets had been expected to play out during the fall federal election campaign. The Crown said there was no reasonable prospect of conviction.
Get ready to rock and roll. We have a contest for you. Motley Crue will headline the second annual Rockin' Thunder on Saturday, July the 4th at Princess Auto Stadium. The legendary rock band will help kickstart the summer, joined by 3 Days Grace, Hailstorm, and J.J. Wild. Your Morning Winnipeg has 4 VIP tickets to give away, and this is your last chance to participate. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword rock. Good luck. We haven't had any panda content on this show in a while, so here you go. This pair lives at the Chengdu research base in China's Sichuan province. They've been caught on camera showing off their tree climbing skills as well as their play fighting and acrobatic skills. What's cuter than this? They're adorable. And it's time now for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Belinda. She loves to play tug of war, and when told to let go, she does. Belinda loves getting kissed, and she'll stay by your side all the time. Next up is Duke. At 6 years old, the Duke's rebel days have just begun. He's a hero in the making, super confident and sweet. He might even help you save the galaxy. And meet Abigail. This 2-year-old girl loves to just sit in the sun and be with her humans. Abigail will make an incredible bestie to have this summer and through the rest of life. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number is there on your screen. Coming up, Ainsley McPhail is live at a beautiful show home, an Artista home. We're going to find out a little bit more about the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Stay with us. We're talking about the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery this morning, some important deadlines, but when you buy that ticket, you're also helping to support some of the important research happening in our province. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Yes, please buy that ticket. Spring bonus deadline, midnight tonight. Get those 50/50 tickets too. To the research, Dr. Michael Schubert joins us now. St. Boniface Hospital's Research Foundation and the research within the center. That's where the money for the ticket's going.
Absolutely. It supports everything that we do, helps keep the doors open, attract top talent to come and work at our site, allows us to work in the areas of cardiovascular research, neurological research, functional foods, all these things that touch upon day-to-day problems that Manitobans face all the time.
And people are going to have a very unique opportunity pretty soon to actually go behind the scenes. We were saying for Your Morning Winnipeg's actually got to get in there and get behind the scenes too.
Yeah, so actually as part of Doors Open Winnipeg on May 31st between 11 and 4, we're going to be opening the doors of the Albertson Research Center at 351 Taché. It'll give people a chance to come in, meet researchers and students and people that are actually doing the work. Ask them questions, learn about what they're doing. There'll be displays, and it'll be a great chance to see exactly how this support actually is delivered in the form of research. What do we do with that support?
That's really neat and super practical as well. When it comes to, I mean, we obviously don't have time, but like to get into the facets of research, what stands out to you right now as exceptional?
Right now, we're very excited that one of our researchers has a drug that is looking really exciting for treating peripheral neuropathy. This is dying off the nerves in conditions like diabetes that can occur. And as a result, you lose your sense of touch, you get injured, and that injury gets worse and worse over time because it doesn't feel that bad. And this is a drug that has tremendous promise to actually regrow those nerve fibers and restore that sensation and avoid some of the negative outcomes like chronic wounds and amputation, things like that. So we're very excited about things like that. And that's just one of the examples of the kind of work that we're doing at St. Boniface.
Okay. TryHospitalDream.com. TryHospitalDream.com. Should I say it again? Okay. Get those tickets. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Ainsley. And the weather, the weekend's here. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. Will I be able to barbecue for my mom?
Absolutely, and not just on Sunday, all weekend long into next week. It looks like we are really into barbecue season, although I say that knowing that there's the hardiest types that'll barbecue in January, wearing shorts. Anyway, we don't have to be those extremes to get outside and enjoy the kind of weather that Mother Nature is dishing up. I think it's going to be pretty pleasant for a lot of folks, even if it is still a little bit below seasonal. Now, I say that knowing that our overnight lows actually did reach seasonal values. 4 degrees was our temperature last hour, and that is normal for this time of year. And now we're already up a degree, sitting at 5 in Winnipeg with east-northeast winds 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 48%. With a few extra clouds hanging around, and there's been some scattered precipitation throughout the southeast, which could still linger for another hour or so before that clears on out. And as it does, a lot more sunshine to enjoy. Not a lot more heat, but more than we've had. So relatively speaking, this is an improvement, getting up to 13 degrees. But in fact, 18 would be a normal daytime high. So we're still missing the mark of what is normal for this time of year. And that 13 degrees will come with a bit of a breeze out of the northwest, increasing to about 30 kilometers per hour for this afternoon. Just a few clouds overnight, though. Winds tapering off, temperature dropping off, but only to 3 degrees. Will at least stay above the freezing mark in the overnight hours. And tomorrow, with a few extra clouds, maybe a couple degrees cooler, 11 degrees. We're still going to call this decent for the weekend. Again, we don't have to remind ourselves that we started the week with snow for a couple of days through the start of the week, so everything is an improvement from there. And the real improvements are actually waiting for us on the other side of the weekend, when we're seeing these temperatures pushing up to seasonal or even beyond.
Thank you, Terry. New details have emerged in that crash between a cyclist and a truck in the Transcona area Wednesday morning. It happened around 5:30 on Dugald Road near Murdoch Road. Police say the driver of the truck has been identified as a 27-year-old woman who was driving with a suspended license at the time. The cyclist, a 23-year-old man, remains in hospital in critical but stable condition. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with information or dash cam footage is being asked to contact the WPS traffic unit at 204-986-7095 or Crime Stoppers. A Winnipeg-founded retail chain is seeking a Manitoba court's approval to liquidate its stores. Warehouse One has started proceedings which would allow the denim retailer to begin shutting down. On Wednesday, Manitoba's Court of King's Bench granted an initial order which prevents its creditors from seeking repayment. According to a pre-filing report, Warehouse One has suffered financial losses due to increased competition from online retail, fast fashion, operational challenges, and poor sales performance. Now it's insolvent and unable to pay its rent and payroll costs. The company is planning on returning to court in the coming days to seek a further order to approve the liquidation of its stores. The company currently operates 128 retail stores nationally under its Warehouse One and Bootlegger banners. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says support is being provided to communities in the province's north and southeast because of flooding. A total of 35 communities have declared a state of emergency, 14 of them since Tuesday. The SPSA says flooding equipment along with crews have already been sent to the areas affected. In northern Saskatchewan, hundreds of people have been forced from their homes because of the floods, with people flying out to Saskatoon and Prince Albert. The Canadian Red Cross is providing support. Elections Alberta confirms more than 560 people accessed that leaked voters list that was part of a separatist campaign. The list contains the personal information of almost 3 million voters. It was posted on the website of the separatist group, the Centurion Project. Elections Alberta says at least 23 people were given full copies of this list. Another 545 people accessed it online. Cease and desist letters have gone out. We also know the Centurion Project held an online training session on how to use the list. One of the names searched during that session was former Premier Jason Kenney.
I'm not somebody who lives in fear, but I'm taking some reasonable precautions, and I'm consulting with the appropriate authorities on all of that. I've also consulted with private legal counsel.
Alberta's Privacy Commissioner has now launched an investigation. Elections Alberta and the RCMP are also looking into the leak. The U.S. and Iran are accusing each other of carrying out attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran released this video this morning, seeming to show missiles fired by its navy. Iran says the U.S. targeted its ships entering the Strait of Hormuz and carried out strikes in its territory. The U.S. is accusing Iran of attacking 3 of its warships. Despite this flare-up, U.S. President Donald Trump says the ceasefire is still on. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound median lane on Provincial Boulevard will be closed for sewer work between Nadeau and Langevin Street. Both north and southbound curb lanes on Taché Avenue will be closed between Eugénie and Marion Street. And on McGregor Street, north and southbound median lanes will be closed from Anderson to McCrae Street. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please text them to us. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.82. It's a bit lower compared to yesterday's amount. And the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Karsten. Love from your whole family. Happy 17th birthday, Piper. Love your family, friends, and Izzy. Have a very happy 2nd birthday, Caleb, from Grandma, Grandpa, and all your family. Happy 21st birthday, Sydney. Love Mom, Dad, Paris, Nanny, Ella, Spencer, Finn, and Gizmo. Happy 1st birthday, Madison. Love Mommy, Daddy, Harlan, and all your family. Happy 19th birthday, Layla. Family and friends wish you all the best today and every day. Happy 6th birthday, Maya. Love from Grant and Nano. Happy 7th birthday, Evan. Love from your mom. Happy birthday, Terry. Love Cindy and Todd. Happy 12th birthday, Lita. Love your sisters, Annabelle, Rosalie, Faith, and Mom and Dad. Happy birthday, Melis. Love Kev and Soaps. Happy 24th birthday, Dominic and Daniel from family and friends. Happy 13th birthday, Toby. Love from Dad and Mason. And a very happy 104th birthday to Mary. Best wishes from your family who loves you very much. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
Looking outside right now, we're sitting at +5. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
A nice start to your morning. I'm calling it nice because we have these heavier clouds around, but temperature-wise, we're winning because we're even slightly above seasonal. 4 degrees would be normal. We're sitting at 5, and it's all with a light breeze out of the east-northeast, just 14 kilometers per hour. With the pressure falling, the humidity is sitting at 48%. I say just a nice morning because of these extra clouds, but it's going to be a stunning afternoon once these clouds are out of the way, making way for all of that sunshine. And if you liked yesterday, and I think a lot of people did, we're going to be seeing very similar conditions expected today. So these clouds clearing out. Northern Manitoba might not be so lucky. Those heavier clouds hanging around could even bring some light and scattered precipitation. But here's where you win. Your temperature should at least get to the freezing mark or even a few degrees above. And while that might not be quite seasonal, it is an improvement over yesterday, where you were still lingering below the freezing mark. So baby steps, and every little bit counts. Again, pushing up into double digits would be pretty normal for this time of year, and northwestern Manitoba will also be below seasonal. Everybody will be throughout the entire province. But again, improvements from where we're coming from, keeping in mind at the start of the week, we kicked it off with flurries, and in fact that lasted for way too many days. So these are sure improvements. Later on this afternoon, southwestern Manitoba could see some precipitation passing through. That could be reaching places like Brandon and then continuing on into the evening time. We're just going to see increasing amounts of sunshine here in the southeast. There's still a few places that might see just some brief passing morning precipitation and then clearing out. Low to mid-teens. High teens is actually normal for this time of year, around 18 degrees, and nobody's quite warming up that much. But again, compared to where we've been, it's all an improvement. The real improvements, though, coming next week when we're pushing up into those seasonal temperatures and maybe even slightly beyond.
Terry, let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at a beautiful house this morning. We're talking about the Dry Hospital Dream Lottery, and we're going to talk about patient care, especially when it comes to women's heart health. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Rochelle. get those tickets at the top of every segment. I got to remind you, right? Tryhospitaldream.com, that bonus deadline, and the 50/50 tickets too. Now let's get to where all those funds are going. Irina's joining us once again with the St. Boniface Hospital Foundation. Women's heart health is so important, and you know, women's health has been understudied for so long. Tell us a little bit about where those funds are going to.
Like you said, women's heart health, it's important, but for so long it's been understudied. Women have been underrepresented. So a couple of years ago, the hospital decided, you know, we are the cardiac center of excellence. Let's put women's heart health as a priority. And so we've been able to fundraise, thanks to the lotteries, thanks to our donors, we've been able to fundraise so far $1.7 million towards Manitoba's only and dedicated women's heart health research program. And so with that $1.7 million, we've been able to hire new researchers that are dedicated to women's heart health. And so there's lots of research happening in that area. And there's more coming too. That's very exciting. But with that, there's increased needs, increased equipment, of course, that's needed. So the need is ongoing. It's only $1.7 million, and we still need more in order to just find, you know, provide better outcomes, patient outcomes for today and tomorrow for women in Manitoba.
And that will build over time. When it comes, because you see it firsthand with the patients coming in, how much does it mean to them? These are people's mothers and sisters and cousins.
Yeah, we hear so many stories. You know, women are coming through. Unfortunately, a lot of it is still unknown. So. It presents differently in women than men, right? You see in the movies, it's like, oh, or like men, it's like, oh, it's chest pain. And that's not like that for women. For a lot of women, it's fatigue. They just feel tired. They have headaches. They have these sort of different symptoms. And they go to their doctors, it's, oh, it might just be menopause, right? So
we're always tired. Oh my goodness.
But then that's what the research is really helping for, right? It's really helping recognize those symptoms and better diagnose, all the different.
I'm so sorry. Us women like to talk too, so we'll keep talking. Get those tickets. Tryhospitaldream.com.
Thank you, Ainsley. A new CTV Nano survey shows that inflation is increasingly impacting the lives of young adults, from canceling major purchases to difficulty affording necessities. Younger Canadians are hit hardest, with nearly 2/3 reporting it as a problem for them, while nearly half the senior generation says inflation is not a problem for them. Joining us now with more is CTV's Kamil Karamali. Good morning, Kamil. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Rochelle. Always a pleasure to see you.
You too. Now, a new CTV Nano survey on inflation is being released. What is it telling us?
Yeah, we've been hearing this anecdotally throughout the past year, seeing how inflation has affected Canadians in terms of their day-to-day lives, whether they're choosing to buy more canned goods at the grocery stores instead of fresh fruits, or even just cutting back on some other more luxurious purchases like clothes, for example. We're hearing now through a CTV Nanos survey that just how many Canadians are actually impacted. So you can see here that roughly half of Canadians are being impacted in one way or another when it comes to inflation this March compared to last March, and so previous Marches as well. So you can see that across the board when it comes to people having to cancel a major purchase because of increasing prices, nearly 15% said that was the case for them, and 18% said it's become difficult to afford basic necessities, and nearly a quarter, 23.5%, saying both of the above. You can see the breakdown happening here, where we're seeing, for example, in the prairies in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, roughly 30% say that inflation hasn't been a problem, but just roughly that same amount, nearly 30% in the prairies, saying that both of the above have had to happen for them to sort of stay afloat, which includes canceling a major purchase or becoming more difficult to afford basic necessities. So giving you a snapshot, Rochelle, of just how dire things are becoming for some Canadians, especially youth, when it comes to what they can afford with rising prices, not only just for gas, but also for really the day-to-day living, including groceries and basic household items.
And why is inflation hitting younger people the hardest?
Yeah, and that's because also partially because of the workforce and the job market. Look, we even got the job numbers out this morning showing that the unemployment rate is still hovering at just shy of 7%. So we're seeing really young people hitting the brunt of this because they're having trouble entering the job market, and even if they do, it is not as robust as it once was earlier. So you know, the pay might not be as high, the stability might not be as stable, and so we're seeing young people hitting the hardest, who are still having a little bit of trouble entering and remaining, Rochelle, in the job market. Back over to you.
Thank you, Cal Mill, for your time today. Here's a look outside at Confusion Corner. Things are still pretty light this point in the drive. I'm not sure why. Maybe kids are off school, but looks like a good drive so far. If you see any issues, let us know. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
All right, 13 degrees, that's our high for today, and that is a little bit warmer than what we've been experiencing so far this week, but it's still not quite reaching what is normal for this time of year. That would be around 18 degrees. Well, we surpassed it big time last year, 27.1, although back in 1874, we surpassed it even more. A record of 35 degrees. Talk about bringing the heat. Well, Mother Nature's not exactly bringing the heat, nor is she even bringing the sunshine at this point. I mean, it's up, but it's tucked behind some heavier clouds. However, those clouds will be clearing out, and we will see more of that sun through the day. And once that happens, once the sun comes out from behind those heavy clouds, it will start to warm us up. Although even these morning temperatures haven't been too bad. We started out at 4 degrees, which is normal for this time of year. We're now sitting at 5 with a 14K east-northeast wind. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 48%, pardon me. And with these clouds, there's been a little bit of lingering precipitation throughout parts of southeastern Manitoba. That will taper off as the clouds clear out. We'll enjoy the sunshine, but for northeastern Manitoba, those heavier clouds will linger and perhaps bring some scattered precipitation off and on throughout the day. Also, later on today, southwestern Manitoba could be in for a little bit of shower activity or even some heavy rain into the latter part of the afternoon or evening time. Temperature-wise, though, yes, improvements over where we've been. It'll still stay a little bit cool and below seasonal for the weekend, but sunshine to carry us through.
Canada's trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico is up for review in about a month's time. A Winnipeg firm has just led a First Nations mission to Washington to talk about CUSMA and why First Nations people need to be at the negotiation table to discuss treaties and agreements from the past and how they still apply today. The firm, Sorella Strategies Limited, wants CUSMA to include and honor the J Treaty, which would allow Indigenous people and goods to flow freely across the Canadian and American borders. Joining us now is the founder of Sorella Strategies Limited, Sandra Hodzik. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this journey, you went last week to Washington to talk about the J Treaty. When was the J Treaty created, and what is it exactly?
Yeah, so the J Treaty is a traditional agreement established by tribes in Canada and the U.S. It is hundreds of years old, and it certainly supersedes any potential agreements like NAFTA or the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement that's being negotiated right now. It honors traditional First Nations trade routes, and it vests autonomy and independence on the First Nations to move freely from border to border to trade goods and services from one country to another without any implications or tariffs or anything like that. So when we talk about the J Treaty, it's very much a central component, or it should be, of any modern day colonial government trade negotiation deals.
So this was an agreement that was made before the Europeans arrived?
Absolutely.
Okay. So is it still being respected? Is it being acknowledged today?
It's interesting. It is being acknowledged, but very infrequently, and it's case by case right now. Okay. So it depends on how much education that particular government is providing to its citizens and border guards and authorities at airports. So what we've seen is on the U.S. side, there's a lot more acknowledgement and ownership of maintaining the J Treaty than we see on the Canadian side. So people just don't know what it is. And if there's no education, then how can we implement it and honor it? So I think the first step to acknowledging it and incorporating it is providing that awareness about what it is, and then looking at ensuring that First Nations and tribes on both sides are actually active participants when it comes to negotiating any current or future trade agreements. So it's just very, very infrequently applied.
Okay, so you went to Washington last week and met with officials there. How did it go?
It went really well. I think, I mean, for me, I was very lucky to be a part of a larger delegation. So I just watched a lot of passionate politicians and rights holders talk about how we could reinstate some of those traditional trade routes and how we can promote the free flow of goods and services and go back to what it always should have been, which is autonomous, self-driven governance between the tribes in the two countries.
Were you well received? Did you get some positive feedback?
Yeah, very well received. I think what we're seeing is outside the scope of the formal governments, like U.S. to Canadian government, a lot of folks on the ground, a lot of decision makers, and certainly within the First Nations context, want to work together. They want to create doors. They want to build camaraderie and partnership with their counterparts, because really many First Nations here that I've spoken to consider themselves very much citizens of the U.S. and vice versa, because when we mentioned the Jay Treaty and looking at how things were 200 years ago, those really were very much the same individuals. So honoring that past, I think, was such a theme, a central theme of what we heard in the States as well.
Okay, so CUSMA negotiations are coming soon. We don't know exactly when. What would you like to see happen?
What we would like to see is, so I think they cease in June, so we have another month or so. We want to raise awareness at my firm at Sorella for every individual or group that doesn't feel reflected or represented in CUSMA to reach out to decision makers and ensure that their rights and components that what they want to see in there are very much reflected at that negotiations table. And if they're not, then we have to change that.
Okay, Sandra, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And forward, we take you to the PWHL playoffs. Frost and Victoire, Montreal up 1 in the final seconds, and Renee Desbiens stops the point shot and then absolutely robs Kelly Panic on the doorstep as time expires. Desbiens just gets her blocker on it to send the shot wide. Montreal getting the win. They lead the series, and Desbiens claims our must-see moment. And coming up tonight on TSN, the inaugural season for the Toronto Tempo gets underway as they host the Washington Mystics. That one gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Friday, May the 8th. HIV emergency, what public health officials say is behind a surge in cases, placing Manitoba well above the national average. Sweeping away curling club's existing lease, the city of Winnipeg says it's time to sign a new one, and this time parking spaces aren't likely to be included. And stepping up to a new wardrobe and lots of new opportunities, how Winnipeg Charity is putting graduation festivities within reach of more students. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It's 8 o'clock. We are here. The weekend is almost here. It's also Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of you at home. And we're going to have lots of music in the next hour. The WSO is going to share its upcoming season, 2026-27. Also, Desiree Dorian is about to release a brand new album, and she's going to perform one of her brand new songs right here.
Oh, exciting.
In studio. But let's talk about the weather. I want to sing about it. It's beautiful out there.
We all do. Honestly, I am so excited. I love it when Mother Nature does the right thing. And does it in time for the weekend, too. That's really the right thing. So 5 degrees is where we're sitting right now with east-northeast winds, 14 clicks. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 48%. We do still have those heavier clouds lingering. I was just up on the rooftop. It's still kind of overcast, but we're starting to see those breaks in the clouds. Few pockets of sunshine here or there. We'll see more of that as the day goes on, as all of this moves on out of the way. So it's southeastern Manitoba who is seeing the activity first thing this morning, although it doesn't read on the satellite image. Northern Manitoba, you could still deal with a few scattered flakes of snow throughout the day today. You will crack the freezing mark throughout northern Manitoba, just getting up into the plus digits, but they'll be low plus digits, and flurries are still possible. Now, precipitation could show up in more liquid form because it's going to be mid-teens, or that'll be what you reach today through southwestern Manitoba, but later on into the afternoon or early evening time, some rain could be passing through in that southwestern corner. Clearing out overnight, fair bit of sunshine for tomorrow. There's still going to be some heavier clouds lingering through northern central Manitoba, and with those clouds comes the possibility of some precipitation. We can in fact see that into Saturday night, overnight into Sunday, but clearing out again, back to the sunshine. Pleasant temperatures all weekend long. Seasonal, no, not quite. Not there yet, but for next week, we might reach seasonal or even surpass it with some low 20s on tap midweek. And our art today is a big thanks to 8-year-old Owen for this little blue bird out of the bird feeder. Thank you for this. Love the art, and please keep sending it to us through our website now, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you enter through the website, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crocodile on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodile. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Manitoba has declared a public health emergency over rising HIV cases.
This is significant, it's concerning, and it requires a coordinated action across governments, communities, and health systems.
The province reported 328 new cases of HIV last year. In 2024, HIV cases in Manitoba were 3.5 times the national rate. Dr. Brent Rusin says the Northern and Prairie Mountain health regions tend to see the highest rates, but the highest number of cases are right here in Winnipeg.
This emergency is driven by a number of factors, one being injection drug use, homelessness, mental health issues, as well as a rise in other sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections, as well as various barriers to access to care.
Rusin says Indigenous people and women are being disproportionately impacted. Rusin also says they're working with Indigenous leaders, community groups, and federal agencies to address the conditions that have led to the spike in cases. An update now on the ongoing land dispute between a Central Winnipeg curling club and the city. The city confirms it will be ending its lease with the Granite Curling Club in July. A spokesperson says the terms of a new lease have not yet been finalized, and if nothing changes before then, it will put an interim agreement in place that ensures the club can continue occupying the site, but without the parking lot. That parking lot is at the center of the dispute. The city is moving ahead with an affordable housing project there. While the club says its future is in jeopardy without access to parking, the curling club is also taking the city to court, asking a judge to order the city to abide by a municipal board ruling, which said the two have to agree on a new parking plan before the housing project can go ahead. The Granite Curling Club declined to comment as the matter is before the courts. Rising fuel costs will soon mean fewer flights. Air Canada is now cutting service on more routes.
The ones that they're cutting back are newer routes. They're not old routes. They're not LA's or San Francisco's. They're not Dallas's. They're not Chicago's.
Air Canada has confirmed it's cutting more seasonal flights earlier than planned. That includes flights from Vancouver to Raleigh, Toronto to Charleston and Sacramento, and Montreal to Austin, Texas. A spokesperson for Air Canada says the airline plans to resume full service on the routes next summer. WestJet also previously announced its plans to slash its capacity by nearly 6% in June. And as far as insurance goes, Manulife is now classifying the jet fuel shortage as a known event. That means problems related to this issue generally won't be covered. High school graduation is right around the corner, and the cost of buying or renting formal wear puts it out of reach for some students. That's why a Winnipeg organization is helping grade 12 students dress for success.
The program allows students who have financial obstacles to be able to participate in a really big event in their life.
They had that huge smile on their face. Some parents were telling us, oh, this is the first time somebody's wearing a suit.
For the past 11 years, Suit Up volunteers have been collecting gently used formal wear, including suits, shirts, ties, and shoes, and helping grads to be to look their best so they won't miss out on their big day. Suit Up founder Dana Binder says just getting fitted for a suit can be a transformative experience for some students, and the program isn't just about graduation. It's a way to help set up students for future success.
Nice thing is most of them come here and say, okay, when do I have to return it? And we say, you don't. You get to wear it to job interviews or any other festivities where you need to be a little bit more fancy.
Suit Up Winnipeg always has room for more formal wear, and the organization's looking for cash donations too to help keep things running. You can email them at suitupwinnipeg@gmail.com. We wouldn't call this columnist a news hound. He's more of a news puppy.
I want to be able to tell the world these days through a kid's eye.
Fred is 10 years old, and he's the new columnist at the Eganville Leader, a community paper serving the Ottawa Valley. Fred writes about whatever interests him. Next week's column is about his family's piano, which has been passed down for generations. Good for him. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the St. James Bridge. Looks good so far this morning. Nothing to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out there, though, please give us a heads up. Get ready to rock and roll. We have a contest for you. Motley Crue will headline the second annual Rockin' Thunder on Saturday, July the 4th at Princess Auto Stadium. The legendary rock band will help kickstart the summer, joined by 3 Days Grace, Hailstorm, and JJ Wild. Your Morning Winnipeg has 4 VIP tickets to give away, and this is your last chance to participate. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword rock. Good luck. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live in a beautiful home this morning. It's all about the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery, and there are important deadlines today. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, the midnight bonus spring deadline. Midnight tonight at trihospitaldream.com. And if you want to know really where the money is going, it's towards people who have been to these 3 major hospitals in Manitoba. Of course, many of you are sitting home right now. Delka Roberts joins us. And over a decade, your journey spans. Tell us about how it all started at St. B.
Well, on December 29, 2010, I had my daughter Tabby. She was very small at birth. She was about 1 pound 2 ounces when she was born, and that began a 4+ month journey in the NICU at St. Boniface Hospital.
That I can't even fathom just how small of a little peanut that is. What was that experience like at the time and going in and out of hospital?
Well, it was very like at the beginning it was surprising, you're shocking, right? Because it's a baby, but like it doesn't really look like a baby, right? And then like, your body's healing, and it's just a lot of it's really shocking. So when my first few hours after giving birth to Tabby, I went into the NICU, and the nurses and doctors kind of were starting to explain to me what was happening. It was a lot, but from the beginning, from day one, from hour one, I felt supported, and the NICU was there right away. Yeah.
And how much does that component of patient care really alleviate the stress? Because you're already in a stressful situation.
Well, having supportive people around you that are knowledgeable really help, right? Because your babies, your children are your most valued asset, right? And so to have a place and people that are there for you and the baby, you can't fully explain, the place in our heart, all of our NICU parents' hearts, like that the staff have forever, because that's an important time and they're part of it forever.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, if you want to sell a ticket, just talk to Delka. That is absolutely amazing. $1.35 million for the grand prize, biggest ever.
That would be wonderful. All right. Thank you, Ainsley. Feels like we're going to win the lottery this weekend when it comes to the weather.
I feel like that too, even though it's still below seasonal. But I love how optimistic so many people are. And it just goes to show that if you get dealt a crummy hand for so many days in a row, that anything seems to be an improvement, even if that anything is still well below seasonal temperatures. We're looking out now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. We do have heavier clouds hanging around. There's been a little bit of scattered precipitation showing up in some parts of the southeast this morning. Winnipeg has remained dry. We're about to become sunny. Those clouds will be clearing out, and it's starting to warm up a little more. From 4 degrees first thing this morning, which by the way is normal for a low temperature. We got to 5 last hour and now we've bumped to 6 degrees. 9 over in the Morden Winkler area. Big bump up over in Brandon. You were at 1 or 2. You were in the low single digits and now sitting at 7 degrees. Even much of central Manitoba has reached at least the freezing mark. Slightly cooler the further that you go into the north, but only a few degrees below the freezing mark for now. You'll eventually get into the plus digits right up into northern Manitoba. Here's that precipitation that I was talking about that brought the heavier clouds. They'll be clearing as the day goes on, and we'll see a little more sunshine throughout the afternoon then. 7 degrees expected next hour, up to 11 through the lunch hour, and 13 by the time kids are coming home from school today. I mentioned it's still shy of seasonal, but it just speaks to the kind of winds that it feels like, because 18 degrees is normal for this time of year. We'll miss the mark by about 5 this afternoon, and in fact all weekend long, but next week warms up a little bit more. We'll get back to seasonal, maybe even beyond, as we're looking through the middle of the week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Expect another interesting day in the markets with the news the U.S. and Iran clash near the Strait of Hormuz, an escalation that threatens to further fracture a fragile ceasefire as the two sides discuss a permanent end to the war. There are also reports Iran seized an oil tanker for attempting to disrupt the interests of the Iranian nation. Rental vacancies have increased dramatically across Canada in the last year, providing relief in a tight housing market, but sparking concerns of a slowdown in construction as developers struggle to cover costs. The national rental vacancy rate was 3.1% in October of 2025, a 41% year-over-year increase, with the figure rising in every province. Ivanhoe Mines, the Canadian mining group developing a major copper, zinc, and platinum assets in Africa, reported a net loss of $2 million for the quarter ending March 31st, compared with a profit of $122 million in the same period a year earlier. This after a large tax settlement linked to its flagship complex in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
From Beethoven to Barbie, that's what the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra is getting ready for next season. The 2026-27 season will have some familiar classical favorites, of course, but there will also be some Broadway touches as well as some movie scores to enjoy. Joining us now with more is the WSO music director, Daniel Reiskin. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, it's been really an exciting last year for you. You had many sold-out shows. What has it been like lately at the WSO?
Well, first of all, we were really lucky to see and happy to see that the audiences actually found their way back to the concert hall and to our concerts. We're actually seeing the numbers that are pre-pandemic and higher. We also see the change in audience demographics, which is also great. We try to cater to everyone, and that's why we do so many different things. And you know, that creates a very special audience when you have a lot of people on stage, but also a full concert hall, and people want to experience it again, and they come back.
Your demographics are changing slightly as well. You're seeing more and more younger people come and check out your shows. Of course, the classical pieces are always bringing in everybody, but there are some young shows that appeal to a younger audience, and it seems to be working.
It does. I mean, that's why we're so happy to present the movies and the pops and the Brawl at the Hall, or anything with gaming music or other things that appeal to people that maybe are not familiar with the classical music, but they love music, and it just happens to be played by a symphony orchestra. And once they're hooked up on that, they might find their way back to our concerts where we play Beethoven, Brahms, Mozart, and Mahler.
So what can people expect when they go and check out a show if they've never been before?
Well, like with good food, you don't need to know anything about it if it's really good. I think it's a great energy. It's the unity. It's a group of people on stage having all these different instruments that play as one and create this unique symbiotic sound that happens in front of your eyes. It's not a recording, it's live. And also the participation of the audience, the energy that we get back from those who listen to it and who listen together, creates this one-of-a-kind moment. And it's a very uniting experience. And maybe it also has very strong, healing and comforting powers too. You might be down, you might have a really bad week behind you. Once you come to the concert, you are able to wash this all away and forget about these things. Just immerse yourself in great music and share your joy of enjoying it with others.
Okay, I love that so much. Okay, tell us about the 2026-27 season. Lots of really exciting things happening.
Well, we are just before finishing our current season, 25-26, but there's a lot to unpack. I'll try to be swift. Be More Masterworks, we concentrate on the real core symphonic favorites, like with actually also an accent on the orchestra presenting itself. The orchestra is the highlight of the series. So you get everything from Beethoven, Mozart, Brahms, Bruckner, Dvorak, Tchaikovsky, the great favorites. Then of course we have the movies, and everyone is asking, are you selling already? Is it sold out? Well, I say, well, hurry up, because Barbie the movie, or the Skyfall, or Addams Family, all these things are really popular with our audiences. And we do a lot of pop shows, the Liquor Mart, Live at the WSO, Live at the WSO Matinee, great tributes to famous rock bands, whether it's Pink Floyd or the likes of Billy Joel and Elton John. We do, of course, kids concerts, so we do specials, we do community celebration where everyone's welcome to the concert for free. We do a Messiah, and with John Delancey, the famous Q from the Star Trek, we also do a great show with brand new music written for the show. So there's really a lot for everyone.
Lots to select from. There's also some really unique experiences. You actually have the audience or some people sit on stage for some
That's
shows.
From the Inside Out project, where the orchestra and the members of the audience are united, sitting next to each other on stage. So don't forget about the audience, where you usually sit. You are on stage with us. You might just rub the bows with a violin or bowist or a timpanist, and it's a very immersive experience. And you have 400 people on stage, of which 60, 70 musicians and the rest of the audience, and that over 3 days. And we had nothing but incredible reactions to this project, and people really hear the music the way we do, and it's unique. You don't hear the whole thing as you hear in the hall, but you are sitting so close to. It's like imagine being on the ice together with the Jet players while they're playing, the visiting game, the visiting team. That's that close.
Oh, wow. Well, if you want more information on the upcoming season, we do have a link on our website, so get your hands on those tickets as soon as you can. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
That's how I feel, being so close to the sunshine up here on my rooftop. But actually, the sun is busting out from behind the clouds, and it's looking gorgeous out here right now. 6 degrees is where we're sitting, so we're making some nice little gains with these temperatures, and a bit of a breeze, 20 clicks out of the northeast. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 52%. We'll see even more of that sun as the day goes on, and the last few clouds continue to clear. Mainly sunny conditions, temperatures on the rise, a little bit of a breeze increasing through the day, but overall it will be pleasant and one of the better days this week, because I don't have to remind you. I'm sure you remember very well how we kicked off this week with snow day after day after day. So anything is an improvement over that when it comes to sunshine and a little bit of warmth that we'll be feeling for today. Southwestern Manitoba could actually see some showers, though, later on this afternoon and into the evening time. And for northeastern Manitoba, you're probably not going to see as much sunshine. Some heavier clouds will likely linger, and some scattered flurries off and on through the day, maybe changing to showers, because even the northeast will see those temperatures climbing up to the freezing mark or into the low plus digits. Pleasant for the weekend, not quite seasonal, but it warms up a little more as we're looking ahead to next week. Our weather picture, a beautiful shot taken in the Chief Peguis Bridge. Thanks to Cheryl for sharing this with us. And keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Good morning. Today we're talking about living with type 1 diabetes and the importance of representation,
confidence, and awareness for young people navigating through this daily. Of course, alongside work being done with Diabetes Canada, one of the ways that they're changing the conversation is through the Pump Couture fashion show, which features Canadian fashion styled in a way to highlight the model's wearable technologies, like insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitors. Joining me now are Winnipeg youth models Lila Flisfetter and Tiziana Plaskonis. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So what does it mean to be a model for Diabetes Canada to you?
For me, I find it like really fun because like I love fashion, but then like having diabetes, it's like cool because like then I can model for it because like I have my sensor and then soon I'm gonna get a pump.
And what does it feel like for you? Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. It's really exciting to be on the show. It's my first year, and having diabetes is actually really cool, but sometimes it's also stressful because you have to monitor your sugar like constantly, and it's kind of getting tiring, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I bet. And a lot of other young people too are dealing with this exact thing. So being able to show this off in a very public way, what does that mean for you?
I feel like it's cool because we kind of like get to be role models, especially like the two of us getting to be on TV and live. It's like cool because like there's so many people being diagnosed these days that we can like just kind of show that like it doesn't stop you and it actually like can help you like kind of like be a star in a way. Because like even though it's so stressful, you also like get to show that like no one's alone in this.
I love that. And modeling the things that people might have questions about, which is very interesting. So you're showing off your monitor. Do you have any I don't know, moves ahead of time that you're that you're thinking of to really highlight them?
Like, what do you mean by
like
that?
for modeling? Are you going to show off the arm a little bit more?
Yeah.
What are you hoping that the young people take out of this?
I hope that like they can like show that they can really be themselves, because like so many people these days are like having so many insecurities because of diabetes and having to wear like these things on them. But I've seen like a lot of people like make these like arm cuff things where like I actually made one where it's like kind of like a band that you put over your arm. Like some people put over like their sensors, and it kind of like turns into an accessory.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Did you sign it or anything like that? You guys got to get matching friendship ones for the show. What about the general public, people who don't have diabetes but may one day be diagnosed? What do you want them to know?
I would say, do you have something to say?
I think it's like you're not alone. Maybe like everyone has it. You're not the only one, because I felt like I was the only one when I got diagnosed with it. Like at like 2022. I was like only 8 and I was like feeling super alone, insecure, but just like a message out to the world, like you're not alone.
And that fashion show is going to do just that. It is happening. It's called Pump Couture. Head to a link on our website for more details.
Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you do with an extra 20 grand. Today's code word is profit. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter profit with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Tune in Monday for another code word. Good luck. Here and it's finally warming up.
Yes, I am so excited about it. I love it when Mother Nature times it out. I mean, listen, I'd be happy with sunshine and warmer temperatures anytime.
Me too.
But on a Friday, ahead of the
Even
weekend,
better.
Yes, please, you did it up right. 6 degrees is where we're sitting right now, enjoying moments of sunshine, but still mainly cloudy conditions hanging over the city. We've got a northeast breeze, 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling to humidity sitting at 52%. Those few extra clouds that are still hanging around, though, you can see what I'm talking about here on the satellite image. Just in the southeastern corner of the province, clear off to the west, clear through central Manitoba. Heavier clouds through the northeast, and those might stick around with some scattered snow. But these clouds here in the southeast will be clearing out, and we'll enjoy a pleasant day today with plenty of sunshine on tap. 13 degrees, so a warm-up, considerably so, just not quite getting to the seasonal daytime high. That would be around 18 degrees, so still missing the mark by about 5, but compared to where we started the week. This is a huge improvement. A bit of a breeze will come along with it, though, out of the northwest, up to 30 kilometers per hour. That breeze tapering off overnight with just a few clouds lingering. Will drop down to 3 degrees and then do it all over again tomorrow. Maybe not quite as warm tomorrow, but still 11 degrees, we'll take it. A 30K wind, so that breeze increasing again. And we might notice some clouds building up throughout the afternoon tomorrow that could in fact bring some precipitation overnight into Sunday, but then clearing out through Sunday, lots of sunshine to enjoy and a little more heat as we're looking ahead to the temperatures next week that could get beyond seasonal.
Statistics Canada's labour force survey released this morning showed a slight drop of 18,000 jobs in April. The agency says that despite an uptick in March, the country has posted a net decline of 112,000 jobs over the first 4 months of this year. The last time Canada lost so many jobs in a 4-month window was during the pandemic. The unemployment rate in April rose to 6.9%, returning to where it was back in October of last year, largely because more people were looking for work. Statistics Canada also reported average hourly wages were up 4.5% from this time a year ago. We're learning more about a multi-vehicle crash Wednesday that sent 3 people to hospital. It happened at the corner of Inkster Boulevard and Arlington Street. The Independent Investigation Unit says it has taken over the investigation as that large orange tank truck had been stolen and was involved in an earlier police chase. The IIU says the driver did not suffer any apparent injuries and is currently in custody. However, 3 other people were hurt, including one who received serious injuries. The IIU is asking anyone with information or video footage to come forward. There will soon be a major disruption for swimmers in Winnipeg. The city plans to close the Pan Am Pool's main tank for a full year so it can undertake a multi-million-dollar rehabilitation of the facility. According to a request for proposals posted by the city, contractors will be working on the Pan Am Pool's main tank, including diving platforms and the deck area. It will be closed to the public for the duration of the project. The RFP says the East Training Tank, locker rooms, and concourse level spaces will remain open to select users during construction. The pool will be closed starting on January 18th, 2027, and the plan is for it to reopen about 1 year later. The city has $4.7 million available for the project. Bids are due by Monday, June the 1st. Another major legal setback for Donald Trump and his global tariff war. A U.S. court has ruled that the U.S. president violated the law when he imposed 10% tariffs on most U.S. imports. The Court of International Trade found that Trump wrongly invoked a decades-old law when he applied the duties in February. Remember, those tariffs were imposed after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down his previous set of sweeping tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners. It's been 46 years in the making, but now for the first time, Agape Table has a standalone space, and it hopes that it will bolster their efforts to feed vulnerable Winnipeggers. And as CTV's Joseph Bernanke shows you, they're not the only organization stepping up and making plans.
For the first time ever, Agape Table finally has a space to call their own.
Really, it's a place that we can finally call home.
After breaking ground on a new building in October 2024, the nonprofit will move 2 doors down on Furby Street, out of the Wave Church's basement, where they operated for 8 years. During that time, they served hundreds of thousands of meals to vulnerable Winnipeggers as food insecurity continues to rise.
Our numbers are staggering. Like in 2019, we were at 85,000 meals for the year. Last year, we were up to 188,000.
The state-of-the-art facility offers more kitchen space, storage, and refrigeration. On top of that, Agape Table will now be open 7 days a week and serve sit-down meals in the space. That's the first time they've been able to since March 2020.
We're going to get back to that. It's really unfortunate for that many years that we had to serve lunch at the door, but bringing them back inside it's a sense of community.
And they are not the only ones feeding the community. At Chalmers Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, every Thursday they give away donated food to 300 people on average. Since they launched the program last fall, people wait for hours to bring home groceries.
The costs of fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, astronomical. So when they can get it for free and it will help them get through a week or to their next paycheck, that is gratifying.
Villarba says the organization also plans to convert this former Elmwood ice cream shop on Ottawa Avenue into a low-cost grocery store mixed with transitional housing. They hope to open the grocery store later this summer. Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Let's look at the current traffic situation now on Portage Avenue at Polo Park. It's been light all day. I don't know what's going on. Maybe kids are off school today, but it looks like a smooth drive into work this morning. Here's a look now at your gas prices in Winnipeg. The average is $1.82, a bit lower compared to yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.52, found at Petro-Canada on McPhillip Street. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. We wanted to know, how will you celebrate Mother's Day? Susan says, giving my mom her card and then off to the casino. Marlene is going for a picnic with her grandkids and the family. Phoebe and Felicity are staying home with their family and grandparents, also celebrating Opa's birthday with crepes and frittata on the menu. Unc D shared, on Mother's Day, I plan on making a homemade card with our dog's paw print on it from my dog's mom, who we love so much. And Anne is going to sneak over to her parents Sunday morning before her mom wakes up and make her eggs Benedict. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provincial, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the St. Boniface Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Speaking of moms, we're joined by Delka Roberts, who is a mom too. And back 15 years ago, you were able to utilize the NICU, your little one. Yeah. How big was she again?
She was 1 pound 2 ounces, so a little bit more than a pound of butter.
Oh my word! And how is she doing now?
She's doing really well. She's in high school, and just like all high school kids, she doesn't want to hang out with me. She has her own hobbies and things like that. So she's doing well.
That means that things are normal. But you know what? You're giving back now, and as are so many other moms. Tell us a little bit about that program.
Well, it's the Parent Partner Program. So within that, we're hoping to get grad parents, as we call them, coming back to maybe volunteer peer support or in the unit reading to babies. It's important for babies to kind of have interactions, and when we're in the NICU early on, they often have limited opportunities to kind of have voices. So we have hoping for readers that can read to the babies by the bedside. It's really rewarding. Yeah, just getting some more comfort for our parents. That's where we're at right now with how things have developed. So I think all of the donations and all of I think I can see how we've benefited from all of donors. It's going to a valid, important cause. Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding. And how much has it evolved since you've been a patient there? Well, not a patient, but you've been visiting there.
It's evolved even for the fact that they have the peer support program. When I was there was no peer support. You were kind of in the trenches, like on your own. So now, as we're trying to get some more basic comforts for families, like we do have a family room, we have snacks and things, but like other things that are kind of ideally we would like to have, like helping with parking, because that's like a super big financial difficulty for some families. You're there every day, and so like things like that. We hope to kind of work with families and get some help with that. Yeah, it's just getting that stuff going. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Happy early Mother's Day to all the moms and motherly figures out there. Maybe get them the ticket to the Tri-Hospital Dream Lottery. TryHospitalDream.com. Big deadline, midnight tonight.
Winning that would be the greatest Mother's Day gift. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. A little bit of a breeze this morning.
Yes, there is a bit of a breeze, but there's also a little more sunshine, so I'm pretty happy about it and not mad that bit of a breeze is increasing. It shouldn't be an intense wind, but yes, you'll notice the breeze. It's not ideal, but hey, we'll take it because it comes with sunshine and much warmer temperatures. 6 degrees right now with that 20k wind out of the northeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 52%. Every time I step out here now, I'm seeing a little more blue sky and sunshine, and it's feeling good. The temperatures will continue to warm up throughout the day today. We're not going to get to seasonal values. 18 degrees seems still pretty far off because we'll probably top out at about 13 here in Winnipeg. but still, it's warmer than anything we experienced so far at the start of the week, and those improvements will last throughout the weekend with an even bigger bump up with the temperatures on the other side into next week. Now, where the heavier clouds are likely to linger, that's northeastern Manitoba. With those clouds, there will likely be some light and scattered snow, and where you might see some clouds increasing later today, well, that would be southwestern Manitoba. And with those clouds, you could get some showers or rain moving in into the afternoon or evening time. Then it clears out again. Tomorrow's looking pretty good. Tomorrow night, we could get some showers passing into Sunday morning, but clearing out for Sunday all throughout the weekend. Moments of sunshine, double-digit temperatures, and yes, even warmer on the other side as we look ahead to next week. So big thumbs up for the weekend. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more on Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
A Hollywood actress has co-created a comic book series set in Winnipeg.
Something about Winnipeg that is charming and weird. There's like a weirdness to the city that I adore. And when you start digging into it, that weirdness extends into the past.
Kristen Kruk, best known for playing Lana Lang in Smallville, has dreamt up a 5-issue comic book series called Black Star. It's set in the early 1800s, with the beginning of the Red River settlement posing as the story's backdrop. But the events that take place also have a fantastical edge.
The foreground is about the beginning of this magical group that end up having an outsized impact on Winnipeg itself and on each other, and it's about the battle to like take down a bad guy, essentially.
Kruk said the idea for the tale was dreamt up while shooting the TV series Burden of Proof here in town. She teamed up with her co-star Peter Mooney, who is from here, and writer Eric Putzer, to develop the story. Here you can see some of the work in progress images. One of them includes an illustration of the Manitoba Legislative Building, which Kruk describes it as a key building in the comic book's lore. The first issue comes out on July 29th. Juno nominee and Manitoba singer-songwriter Desiree Dorian has had multiple songs climb the top 100 Canadian country music charts. Her last album, her 7th record titled Remember Your Name, reached number 9 on iTunes Canada in its first week of release. And Dorian is now on the verge of releasing her 8th album, Pieces of Me, the first time she's produced a record on her own. The album release party is happening Monday in Winnipeg. And joining us now is Desiree Dorian. Good morning, Desiree.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. And your partner Lee, of course, who is with you here. Congrats on the new album.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to work on this album on your own, to produce it yourself.
I was actually shopping for producers, and I thought to myself, you know, Des, you've gone through this process how many times? I'm sure you can figure this out and do it the way you want to do it. So I tracked down an engineer, Grant Triple, with District Exchange Studios here in Winnipeg, and I told him what I wanted to do. I told him what my vision was, and he said, no problem. I got your back. I'll work with you, and you can call the shots and do what you want to do, and I'll just support whatever it is that you want to do. So that's how it ended up.
And it took you about a year to do it.
Yes.
Huge collaboration with many other artists. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we started laying down bed tracks. I also made it my mission in this record to work with 70% freelance, Indigenous freelance musicians. Okay. And so my partner Leroy Constant was playing bass on the album. Michelle Briere is playing drums, and we started laying down the bed tracks. And we just finished tracking one day, and we left, and Red Wine and Daddy's Tattoo, and Lee and I were talking in the vehicle on the drive home, and he says, you know, I think that you could use some harmonies on this, and I think that we should bring in a feature artist. And so it was collaborative in the sense of like all of us pitching in our ideas. Yeah. and
that's amazing. Well, congrats. Now the launch party is happening on Monday. What time and where?
Doors open at 6 at Side Stage, 700 Osborne Street here in Winnipeg, and I think we're sitting at about 30 tickets left. So
wow.
I hope
better get on it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Desiree Dorian, take it away.
my eyes and let you lie. This love is a landmine. I should listen to my intuition, but you're still my favorite fiction. I wish I could leave you, but I'm here, 'cause I still believe you. So here we are again in this compromised position. Oh, digging in the dirt, down in the trenches, all alone, lost and defenseless. You leave me hanging here behind enemy lines. I'm paralyzed by the bombs you're planning, and I don't know where the hell I'm standing. So I close my eyes and let you lie. This love is a landmine. This love is a landmine. Digging in the dirt, down in the trenches, all alone, lost and defenseless. You leave me hanging here behind enemy lines. I'm paralyzed by the bombs you're planning, and I don't know where the hell I'm standing. So I close my eyes and let you lie. This love is a landmine. This love is a landmine. This love is a landmine.
6 degrees outside, seeing some blue sky and sunshine now. Northeast winds 20 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling. The humidity sitting at 52%. It's going to be beautiful today. We're already seeing those improvements, and we'll continue to see them as these clouds keep clearing out for us. Up to 13 degrees sounds great, but 18 is normal for this time of year. I don't want to dwell on seasonal, though. That's a huge improvement over where we've been, and we'll stay with those similar temperatures throughout the coming weekend, only to see further improvements as we're looking ahead to next week. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, before we send you off into the weekend, we're going to show you some fun video. Canada geese have a reputation that precedes them as not the nicest or friendliest birds, but this one is different.
Hi. Did you miss me?
Aww, this guy appears to have missed his human buddy. See it running right across the parking lot as a woman calls out to it with his little feet paddling the pavement. It genuinely seems happy to see her.
That's a golden retriever in a goose suit.
Now to a kid who takes rules very seriously. I mean it to the letter. Mom says no shoes in the house, and the 3-year-old follows that rule, leaving her doll's pink shoes right next to all the other outdoor shoes.
And then they wonder why they can't find the Barbie shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Put some tape on it. And finally, what about dancing across the finish line instead of dashing across? This is the finish line of a half marathon in South Africa. After completing it, the runner decided to celebrate by breaking out some dance moves as she headed towards the finish line. Although she didn't win a medal, she definitely finishes the 21-kilometer run in style. Yes, absolutely. I practically crawled across the finish line. I'm so tired.
I would never even sign up for one.
Have a good day. See you next week.